W keying, the act of aggressively pushing and fighting as many players as possible, is arguably the best way to play Fortnite, and something only the pros have mastered. However, today, I'm here to change that, as a new season has finally dropped and brought with it a bunch of new tournaments that I need to be primed for. So, for the next 24 hours, I'm going to be doing all that I can to analyse, change and perfect my style in order to see if I've got what it takes to master Fortnite's hardest skill. Nice, let's go. Our journey begins on an early Sunday morning, where I decided first that I would just hop into a game to gauge where my skill is at so we can compare and contrast at the end of the video. And after hopping in, I realised something was off. Bro, what happened to my drop spot? What is this? Bro just gave up. What? Bro, what the fuck is that? What is this kid doing? If you drive into me, I swear. Oh, he's actually like 1 HP, bro. After cleaning up off spawn, I wasted no time and rushed to the nearest fight. I needed that. I let these kids beef. That's what we like to see, bro. Oh my god. What the hell are you doing, bro? Get out, bro. After cooking those kids in zone, I noticed someone had all the medallions, and I needed them. Oh my god. No. No! I'm dead! Oh my god. Cracked. No! 40 white! This kid's 1 HP, man. Okay. That first game was decent, but we have a long way to go. If I wanted to master this skill, I'd need to see how it's actually done. So the next thing I did was study the gameplay of Fortnite's best W keys, the likes of Reap, Shark, Cold, Muzz. I watched them all and found these 5 things that would eventually change everything. First up, phasing. When watching the pros W key, I noticed just how much they use their momentum to phase into the opponent's box and close out fights quick, which is definitely something that I need to improve in order to perfect my keying. Next, angles. I noticed this especially in my own gameplay compared with the pros, just how much I was taking bad angles and wide edits, leading to me taking lots of damage. Whereas the pros, they made better edits and tighter angles, giving them the advantage and allowing them to win more of their fights. Which leads me on to my next point, which is aim. And I know it sounds simple, but just hitting your shots is, at the end of the day, what's actually going to win you the fight. Which is why the best W keys also have some of the best aim. And you can see why in the next thing that I noticed, which was just how much these pros hold their shotguns out. When they drop on a wall, when they're making an edit, and even when they're getting edited on. They always make sure to have their shotgun out and locked onto the opponent, allowing them to hit more shots and ultimately eliminate more players. And finally, the last, probably most important thing that separates the average and the pro keyer is their ability to read an opponent and catch some of the best times possible. I'll give you an example. Say that I'm keying, I get with a fat pump and I'm forced to box up. The opponent now knows I'm weak and expects me to be healing. However, by reading that the opponent is now likely to get aggressive to try and stop me healing, I can catch him mid-smack as he overcommits, setting up a perfect right hand and allowing for a huge pump, ultimately ending the fight early, which may not have been possible if I wasn't able to make that read. So, now that we know all this, it was time for me to practice the 5 skills to really try and implement them into my gameplay. And after a couple hours of grinding creative, I felt like it was time to hop back into rank. And let me just say, I might be him. Wait, these guys are fully teaming. You just threw him in minions. No. Here he comes. Oh my god. Yeah. What? Bro, what the f is that gun? As you can see, I was majorly cooking, hitting champion in no time. However, to prove that I'd really mastered W King, I needed to complete a simple challenge. Getting a 20 bomb within 5 games, which in solos itself is pretty impressive. Added to the fact that ranked lobbies die out super quick, I felt it was hard enough. So, equipped with everything that I'd learned throughout the day, I hopped into game number 1. My plan was to just get loot as safely and quickly as possible before rushing out to get that 20 bomb. However, it wasn't long before I realised that I had a visitor. Boy. Nice, nice, nice. No. After those 2 early game fights, I noticed just how fast the lobby had died out, so I got straight in a car en route to the nearest fight. No. What? Oh. Now that I have God loot, I need to try and make something, anything out of this game. Oh, just fight me. I'm rushing, I'm rushing. On ones. No. No. Oh. Oh my god. That was way too close. Ooh. 40 white. Nice. 1v1. 80. Cracked. Oh god, I got a match, bro. Nice. What a start. Although we didn't get that 20 bomb, it's always nice to start off on a win. So let's just hope game 2 is somewhat similar. Yikes. Just move on to game 3, bro. Nice. Oh. Bro. Oh my, for fuck. Oh, I definitely did not mean to do that. With some go to W King here, we could be on track for this 20 bomb. That was until... Oh my god. Bro. Bro! Get out of the game. Yeah. I ended up fighting that kid for at least 10 minutes, meaning we were now off track. However, it doesn't mean I can't get some good keying practice in. 100. Let me in. Way too close, bro. Oh, he's white, he's white. Nice. Don't mind if I do. Oh my god, cracked. Let me in. Oh! Bro, I keep missing my shots. Alright. Now you're getting clipped. Nice. That's our second win. However, with only 2 games left to play, I was still yet to find that 20 bomb. And to make it even worse, I ran into a huge issue in game 4. Yeah, I guess all this ranked was just getting to my head. But we can't give up now, because we have one final chance, being game number 5, where I was able to get loot before setting eyes on my next target. Let me in, bro. Oh my god! 70. What a great start. This is beginning to look doable. We've just got to keep going. Oh my god. Oh, just fight me, man. Get in, get in. Nice. Go, 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 go. Even though I played so good, getting 3 wins in 5 games, we didn't manage to get that 20 bomb, meaning I failed the challenge. However, I do feel like my keying has improved tremendously, and in a game mode that doesn't have infinite shockwaves and dry lobbies, I could have easily dropped 20 kills. Anyway, I genuinely hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.